start. Welcome to your first phone call of Earls Vision and Goals program. Date and time is March 5th at 10:08 Pacific Standard Time here in Vancouver. I know some of you are in Edmonton, so it's probably 11:08, and I think we're just Vancouver and Edmonton. So thank you for being on time and here today. It's going to be awesome. This is my fourth call of the week. This week I already did one this morning, and this is the second time I've actually coached this. And it's an amazing program. It's some people have seen some amazing growth personally, professionally. Just figured a lot of stuff out in their life. So I'm excited to facilitate and be your coach. So and it's going to be a program just really designed to empower you to kind of create your personal legacy that you want to leave in this world. So igolü is a whole program as a whole. So I'm just going to give you a definition of what this is. So the definition is igolü is a choice, an act, and a movement. It is a choice to stand for others. It is an act for unconditional love for others as they live into their visions and goals. It is a movement of like-minded individuals dedicated to designing their chosen future, instead of relating people based on personalities, likes and dislikes, achievement and failures. igolü shows how to goal others based on possibilities, accountability, choice, and fun. igolü, like I said, is a leadership program as a whole. We're doing level 1 of it, which is personal legacy, vision, and goals. So it's designed by this lady named Susanne Conrad. For some of you may know her. If you know Lululemon, she's actually the director of possibilities there, which is a very well-known, renowned leadership program. So she's kind of been the face of that and really helped grow Lululemon. And then she's also been, for the past 25 years, a leadership and communication advisor for lots of major companies, lots of amazing leaders. And she just helps achieve people have happier personal and professional life. So it's kind of what this program is about. I was lucky enough that she kind of facilitated this program for me, and then she also certified me. So I know her quite well now, and she's like, if you know her even from that video, she's this crazy, like, eccentric, like, bubbly, outgoing personality who just brings amazing energy. So all that energy and kind of how she lives her life that way really shows up in this program. And like when we get into talking above and below the line, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to give a brief introduction of kind of a few of the concepts we're going to be covering over the next, I think this is a 6-week program or journey or whatever you want to call it from start to finish. And I know for some of you, you don't really know what you're getting into. I kind of told some of my partners who are on this call, I kind of just told you, hey, join this call. It's going to be a great program. Lots of people have seen results. So I just want to kind of review it quickly before we get going into it. So vision and goals, important concepts. Moment to moment, we are responsible for creating our personal legacy. With everything we do, we're creating our legacy. Every word we speak. And we have the choice to react from the past or respond to the now. We're going to get into choice or reaction-based responses. Today we're going to talk about, and furthermore, next call is the body is innately intelligent and helps us be true to ourselves if we listen. We must pay attention to the upward and downward spirals and choose to stay above the line. We're going to write goals which are written from a vision to support a desired future. And goals are written in first person, they're affirmative, they're in the present tense, and they include specific. So they're like goals that are going to actually hold you accountable. And then we're going to create declaration statements which tune us to be the person that can sustain our vision and goals. So that's kind of what the 4 weeks will be about, and the 4 phone calls. So before we get going, I just want to kind of do a clearing or an ask of you. This is my second time kind of facilitating this phone call. So I've seen people get average results. I've seen people kind of not get a lot out of this program, and I've seen amazing transformations. And the amazing transformations, it's an amazing program, and the company believes in it just because we've seen so much growth as people and individuals and leaders. But for this growth, it's all going to be determined really what you put into this program. And I mean that. And between each call, we have 2 weeks, and you're going to get given homework. And if you leave your homework to the last minute and don't really put much into it, you're not going to get a lot out of this program. So there's going to be a piece of that, of holding yourself accountable to the homework. And then there's also going to be a piece of The people who get the most out of this are the ones who are vulnerable, who put themselves out there. We're going to go deep, especially next call. For some of you, you might actually go extremely deep into kind of your past and your history, and we're going to clear yourself some, I guess, skeletons in the closet. And the more you open up for the group, and the more you are willing to be vulnerable and authentic with these phone calls, is what you'll get out of it. So. I just want to do an ask of you guys, and I think it's 6 things I ask of you. And it's the first is I just want you to ensure your space for each session allows you to be clear and grounded, and you're in an environment that allows for great conversation. So you're going to be okay with opening up, sharing. There's not going to be distractions. You're going to be 100% present on the court during that call. So that's going to be a big piece of it. The second thing I ask is that you make a personal kind of intention of each call. Kind of what you want to get out of it, why you're on these calls. Really decide what you want to get. Third thing is if you require clearing at any moment, feel free to do it. If your duck's quacking, if you're not on the court, and something's bothering you, and you need to just state it or let it go, at any moment feel to do that, because we just want you 100% present. So. And I want you to always ask yourself coming into these calls, are you 100% above the line, or is there something that's bothering you? Is it relationship? Is it work? Is it whatever it may be? But if, we're just here to support you. So whenever you come into this, just make sure your head and your mind's fully into it. So I ask that you're pleased in full integrity with your pre-work. Like I said, it's a big accountability piece to yourself, that you're between the 2 weeks and every call, that you're really dialed into your homework for those 2 weeks, and you're getting the most out of this. And then just ask yourself, is there anything impacting your ability to choose happiness and have fun in these sessions? Because that's what it's all about. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this. It's going to be an amazing journey. I think there's 7 of us on this call that we're actually going to build great bonds with each other. We're going to create buddy systems to check in. And, it's going to be an awesome ride. So. If anyone has a clearing at this moment or anything to say to the group, that's their duck's going off or something's quacking, feel free to do it now. Otherwise, I'll just continue on. I can kind of see all your little faces in the Google Hangout boxes below, and I think I got some smiles, so we must be all good to go. Thumbs up. Awesome. Good stuff. So I just want to kind of do my introduction. I know lots of you know me, but my intention with this program is I'm here to be like a support system. You're a kind of igolü leader or coach or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not here as your GM. I'm not here as I know for some of you on this call, I won't be your GM, but I won't be reporting to Chris, or I won't be reporting to any of your head chefs or your regionals of anything that happens on this call. It's the 7 of us, and we're here, and it's just whatever said is said, and it doesn't leave this conversation. So I just want to make that known, and I want to also make it known that this program is 100% about you. It's not really about Earls. They're putting it on, and they're supporting it because they believe in the transformations that can come from it. But and then if you become a better leader because of it, that's great. But they really just want it to be about you and your personal growth, and kind of creating that future and that vision that you really want to lead into. So. For me, like I said, it's my 2nd time coaching this session, and I love doing these calls for selfish reasons and personal reasons. I grow from every time I facilitate one of these calls. I grow from each of you in these calls, because when you're going to open up and share, you're going to share some stuff that kind of in tune me into my visions and my goals, and so it's an awesome program. Some of the great things that came from me from this program are. Like I said, we're going to create a vision, and this vision is going to be 10 years down the road. And the first time I did this when I was 25, and for me, it's like, I was like, holy shit. It was fucking a little bit scary, because I never thought of myself 10 years in the future. And you're going to create, picture yourself. What do you really want? Kind of what type of relationships do you want? What type of family do you want to live with? Like, it's pretty crazy, and it's pretty powerful. And then I think it's the 4th call we're going to share these visions, and I remember in some of my other calls, some of the leaders and partners actually broke down when sharing them, because they just kind of speaking it out loud of themselves 10 years down the road was just so powerful to them, and it was tears of joy. So for me, I got an amazing vision of this. You're going to create powerful goals, like I said, that are informative. They're going to really hold you accountable, and they're going to support your vision. For me, a few years ago, I'd done some goal setting. You fall off of it. It is what it is, but these ones hold you accountable, and they're going to help you to achieve results in your life that you really want to achieve and strive towards. So What else for me? I've become my relationship with my girlfriend, Isla, has it's 10 times greater than it ever was. I'm a better listener. I'm a better communicator. I'm more open and authentic with our conversations. Just because I came in tune, kind of with, I guess, I had some shit in the past that I had to like clear and get out of my head, and it's allowed me to be just present with her when we're communicating. So I think I've become, and then there's a piece of recovering faster, which is a big piece of this program, kind of the above and below the line in your body sensations. So when you kind of go below the line, whether it's like self-doubt or anger or fear or anxiety, this program teaches you to recover faster and get to that place above the line where you can create great decisions and have great conversations. And you won't say anything or do anything that you regret, hopefully, is kind of the piece with that. So kind of set up these calls, kind of how they work is they'll be similar today. I kind of do my preamble for, so it can be as short as probably 7 to 8 minutes all the way up to 20. We're going to I review the calls, kind of talk about important concepts. And then it's a lot of opening it up to you guys, and it's going to be a lot of you guys sharing your kind of process, your journey, kind of what you're going through. So um, so just be prepared for that. That you will be asked. I won't call on anyone. You can share when you're comfortable and you're ready to share, but hopefully you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and open up to the group and really put yourself out there. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask now. Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of move into the kind of important concepts of the video that you probably should have watched for homework. That was kind of all the homework and then reading articles. So everyone looks like they're good to go. Awesome. Okay. Important concepts from the video. So the first piece that Susanne talked about was personal legacy, and it's our legacy is a combination of one's vision, goals, and we're always leaving a legacy. Moment to moment, we're creating our personal legacy. With everything we say and do and speak, we're creating our legacy. There's a concept that talks about everything after I am creates. That kind of means you're speaking your future moment to moment. So if it's I am tired, that's the reality you're setting for yourself. That's kind of the mindset you're going into it. Or it's I am ready to go. So you're speaking your future moment to moment. And it's going to be important that we examine kind of the inherited components of our legacy to be in full choice about the legacy we create day to day. And over this kind of journey in your self-reflection moments, it's going to be our work or your work to discover who we are, what we came here to do, and then do our very best to remain true to ourselves and the personal legacy we wish to create. Part of our personal legacy responsibility in creating our legacy is to examine the internal voices inside of our heads and make sure we are listening to accurate information and actively choosing to live above the line. And what we need to understand is our mind is always connecting us with past experiences. That's its job. And we need to examine listening because we're going to set goals as an extension of what we've already been able to do in the past. And based on what we have done in the past, instead of allowing ourselves to leap into the future that's currently uninvented. So what I kind of mean by that is some of us are going to have, I guess, skeletons in the closet, if you'll call them that. Stuff that's past or affected our past, because we've all inherited a legacy, whether it be from our parents, our grandparents, kind of our race, our gender, our upbringing, our schools we went to, our environments we in. It's all kind of created who we are today and how we wound up being. And some of that's going to be negative, and some of that's going to be affect our ability to kind of create that chosen future or see ourselves or where we're going to go. I've dealt with stuff on some of my calls, like a verbally abusive dad who was always telling his son that he wasn't good enough. I've dealt with, I had a twin on my call who his parents seemed to always be comparing him to his twin, and the other twin was always better. So he had that mindset where it's, I'm never good enough, I'm never good enough. So we had to go back and visit that. I've had bullying where people were bullied when they're younger and they're still self-conscious and don't have the power to really see themselves as who they are today. They're still that 16-year-old person on the playground or whatever it was. So that's kind of the inherited legacy, that the piece I'm talking about, and we're going to get more deeper into that into call 2, but it's just something to start thinking about. Next, she talked about above and below the line. And that's kind of the place where when we're above the line, we're in a great spot. We have the ability to make great choices, have great conversations. We kind of see the world in a different light, and we have the ability to commit, to trust, to wonder, to love, to offer forgiveness. So we're in a good spot. And the reverse of that is when we're below the line. And there's usually 5 common things that put us below the line. It's the worry, the doubt, and that could be self-doubt internally in your head, fear of the unknown, unforgiveness, all that kind of stuff. But when we're below the line, we're going to experience emotions like reaction with our words, with the situations we're in. There's going to be judgment of others, of ourselves. We're going to be worrying. We're going to have guilt, probably sarcasm for some of us is when we're below the line. We won't be able to love. So we're gonna, and the big piece of being above and below the line is our body sensations and our body triggers, because that's what's going to give us, I guess, the internal voice to let us know we're there, and then hopefully we recover faster. And what she kind of talks about is the body's innately intelligent. It's going to tell us that we're in a shitty spot before we even mentally process it. For me, on the first call on Monday or on Tuesday when I was doing this Google Hangouts, I'd never used it. I was getting anxiety, and before I even processed that, my chest started to tighten. Or when I hit the grip, I'm a jaw clencher, and I actually tighten my fist. So it's like I have to tell myself, like Cody, like spirit fingers, like release. But if I can catch myself like clenching my jaw in that reactive state before I actually say something or have a terrible conversation or get hot, we're hopefully going to be able to save those relationships and those conversations and whatever it may be. So there's going to be a big piece over the next couple of weeks is whenever we're below the line, we want to really figure out what those body sensations are telling us and become aware of them. So the next thing is the power of knowing what you want, and it's a simple but I believe super powerful exercise. All it is you're going to create a circle and you're going to kind of put what you wanted in it. And for me, the last time I really used it, and I used it effectively, was my interview for Bridge Park. I put in this circle going into it, everything that how I wanted it to occur during that interview. So I wanted to show up confident, I wanted to show up passionate, I wanted to articulate myself well. So kind of everything that I wanted to go into that interview. And then everything on the outside was my anxiety, my fear, my kind of doubt of who I am, and how I've been operating on all that. So I really focused on showing up in that interview how I wanted to show up, instead of normally like most of us probably walking in an interview. As we're walking in to sit down, we're probably running through our head. What if I don't articulate this well? What if I don't speak this? What if I can't show up this way? So I believe it really helped me with that interview. I think it was one of my best interviews that I've had. And I think it was all due to this exercise. I know for some people on our calls, they use it for relationships, kind of what they want out of a relationship, because it's all too common that we're going to kind of focus on what we don't want in our life instead of getting clear of what we do want. So it's like we've all probably heard of the law of attraction, and it's the name given to the term like attracts like. And that by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, one can bring positive or negative results. So I know people, it's like lots of us had conversations with friends, and it's always like, if it's about a relationship, oh, I don't want my boyfriend, I don't want a boyfriend like this, I don't want a boyfriend who's doing this. Like attracts like, so that's what you're going to attract, instead of focusing on, oh, I want a relationship of commitment and love, or whatever it may be. So it's a very powerful tool. I know I've used it for partner meetings. I've used it for 16-week planners, kind of what I want to get out of them, just really focusing in on how I want to show up and what I want out of things. You can use it for partner sit-downs with your even boyfriend or girlfriend. I guess they're not sit-downs, but conversations. I hope you don't devo with your boyfriend and girlfriend. Might not go well. But anyways, so those are kind of the 3 important concepts or takeaways from the first video. So this first phone call is really just an introduction to vision and goals, kind of the concepts that we're really going to be digging into. So that's kind of it for me. So there's going to be kind of 3 things that when we open it up that I ask you. I know kind of there's, I think, 6 of you on from North Van, or yes, or 5 of you. So you guys kind of all know each other, but for the For Brooke and Allie, let's for the first things first, let's just share who we are. Give a couple minutes speech, 2 or 3 minutes, kind of who you are, how you wound up being, what you're passionate about. Because like I said, we're going to go on this 6 or 8 week journey, and we're going to get to know each other extremely well. So let's just kind of break down those barriers now. Let's get rid of any nervousness or shyness, and that's the first thing. Share about that. The second thing is just kind of the intent out of this program. I know you've kind of just gotten a brief introduction, and lots of us it may just be vision and goals, but lots of us it could be let's clear some shit in the past, or I just want to live a more whole and complete life, or whatever it may be. Let's share your intent with this program, and then also with that intent, I want you to attach. Share your intent, and then let's talk about in eight weeks' time when we're done this program. If you're what you've got and your intent has come out of this program, what's that going to look like for you? So it may be a better relationship, having more open and honest conversations with your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it may be. And then the last things, let's just talk about body sensations a little bit. I know this is probably a new concept to some of us, but I'm sure for most of us, we're aware of the surface level body sensations that occur when we kind of go below the line. So let's just share about those. So, like I said, I'm just going to open it up. Whoever wants to share can share. There's no order. I'm not going to call on anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So, whenever you're ready, just make sure you unmute yourself and let's share with the group. Let's get to know each other.
I guess I'll go ahead. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Am I unmuted? Awesome. Yeah, so I guess I'll just let you guys know a little bit about who I am. So I'm Allie. I moved to Edmonton in September from Nova Scotia. I lived in Nova Scotia my whole life. Went to university there for the last 4 years. So I've got a degree in psychology and sociology, which I absolutely loved, and kind of feel like I get to use it a bit at work. Psychology, around people all day, kind of analyzing people a bit.
Yeah, totally.
I come from an awesome family. I have an older brother, 2 younger sisters. We're all really close in age. It kind of sucks being away from them. They're still back home, but it's okay. They plan on visiting me soon. So, yeah. Other than that, yeah.
What are you passionate about? What do you do outside of work?
My whole entire life, I've been a dancer.
Oh, nice.
So I've been in dance, ballet, and hip hop, and jazz, and tap, and all that stuff. Kind of when I moved into university, I kind of stopped that, but took up yoga as, I guess, a passion, kind of like a different way to use expression through my body, that kind of thing. So yeah, I love that. I'm into rugby. I don't really play so much anymore, but all through high school I played rugby and dance, so kind of two opposite ends of the spectrum there a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Awesome. So what's your kind of intent when you signed up for this program, or now that you kind of heard a little bit more about it? What can I and what can the group kind of help you with in these 6 to 8 weeks?
I guess when I signed up for the program, kind of my intent was, now that I'm done like university, I guess just kind of like figuring out what's next, like what kind of life I want to live from here on out. Because I guess kind of experienced some frustrations when I graduated university, like deciding what I want to do, that kind of thing, and I guess like a particular job or like career path never kind of like jumped out at me. So just kind of like discovering like my path, like what kind of journey I'm on, what kind of life I want to live, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then body sensations. Are you aware of kind of when you go below the line, or I guess it kind of an Earls term is we hit the grip, if you've heard of that?
Yeah, I have. I can like right now, getting a little anxious, like hands sweating, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Is there any situations where you get angry or get hot a little bit? What happens to your body? Do you notice that yet, or not quite? Or?
No, not really. I don't really pay attention too much, but I guess now I'll definitely start.
Awesome, and that's okay if you don't know, but yeah, that's kind of what the one piece of the homework is over the next couple weeks. When you do get hot a little bit or go below the line, that's the whole point, is so we can notice these reactions in our body before we make those negative conversations or negative reactive choices. Yeah. So that's okay that you don't know, and it's you'll just be definitely paying attention over the next couple weeks.
I sure will be.
Awesome, thank you for sharing first.
Welcome.
Hey, I guess I'll go next.
Awesome.
You guys hear me?
Yep, you're good.
I thought I'd go next because I actually have a little bit in common with Allie. I'm from Nova Scotia as well.
Nice.
And I also lived in Edmonton when I first moved away from Nova Scotia. So to put it in context, I guess I opened the Joey Tomatoes on Jasper Ave. I guess it's Joey now.
Yeah.
Way back then, it was Joey Tomatoes Kitchen. But that was my first job in a restaurant, was being a dishwasher at Joey's there. So I thought it was kind of cool that you're from Nova Scotia and now you live in Edmonton.
Yes.
Small world, kind of. Edmonton's starting to feel like home a little bit, so that's good.
Yeah, and my whole family lives back in Nova Scotia. And
where at in Nova Scotia?
My family lives in Lower Sackville.
Okay, that's very close to me.
Yeah. So where are you from exactly?
Enfield. Do you know where that is?
Yeah. My sister lives in Enfield with her boyfriend. So there you go.
That's funny.
So yeah. You know, I have a wife and a kid. I have just about a 2-year-old little boy, and really proud about that. I have an awesome family. I've only been with Earls this time around again for about 3 months now. I'm really excited to be back in the fold. I'm learning a lot and growing as a person again already, so it's really exciting for me. You know, I don't know. I've worked in different restaurants along the way. Aiming to become a GM again, kind of as soon as I'm ready for it, or as soon as there's an opportunity for me. As far as what I'm hoping to get out of this process, I guess I just want to grow as a person. I've always been aware of myself, but I haven't necessarily acquired the tools to solve some of the problems or the issues or things that I wanted to work on. So even through leaders' gifts and leading teams, and I was really looking forward to Visions and Goals, because I think that'll help me become a better person, become a better husband, a better father, a better leader, a better friend, everything, right? So I'm just really excited to be here and have this opportunity. What else you wanted us to go into, Cody?
If you're aware of any of your current body sensations, kind of when you go below the line.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You know, I've always been a pretty fiery guy, and I can feel it right away when I'm getting worked up. It's just, it's almost like I have a physical reaction to when I start to get frustrated. So I can definitely already see how identifying that and addressing it will alleviate some of the negative results that have come out of that in the past. So I'm really looking forward to learning to identify that earlier on in the process. Yeah.
And kind of what do you feel? Where do you notice it?
Everywhere. It's like, you know, it's, I guess, in my head the most. You know, like I literally feel like I get red in the face, and I just get really tense. You know, and I just kind of. Yeah, it's just like a hot physical reaction in my head and my face, and oh man, I'm getting worked up right now, you know. So you've seen it, Cody. You know what it looks like.
No, it's good, man. Yeah, because for me, it's no, I'm excited for you. You're in this for the right reasons. I know kind of your 3-month journey. I've been there with you, and I think this journey for the next 8 weeks, I think you're going to see a lot of this. I think we all are, but you're definitely in this for the right reasons, and I think it's going to be an awesome benefit, this program. So
yeah, me too. Yeah, I guess as far as, you know, that's my intent, right? Is just to become a better person, and in all areas of my life, and I really want to be a better influence to the people that I come in contact with, you know. And I guess I gotta right my own ship a little more before I can do that better, right? So yeah,
good, man.
All right.
Thanks for opening up. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Beauty.
We mute this? Yeah. Laurelie's not ready to go.
I guess I will go next. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Natalie. I have been with Earls now for about just under 3 years. I moved out here from Edmonton, so I hope you guys are enjoying the winters out there, and I'm sorry that you have to endure that. So I guess I'm graduating from BCIT this coming semester, and I guess that I just am looking to set some realistic goals and expectations for myself. I've worked in a couple different positions at Earls, but my passion has always lied in the marketing department. So I am graduating from event marketing, and I'm hoping to do something in that field. My intention for taking this specific program is just to kind of have some self-discovery. Just kind of to learn to be more mindful and just more of an active listener. So I think going into my future, this is going to help me do that and set me up with the right tools. As far as body sensations, when I find myself below the line, so to speak, I guess anxiety is a big one for me. So I'll experience that just in situations that I'm uncomfortable or that I'm not familiar with, and I usually get it a numbness in my fingers or my hands, and it's just like a tingling sensation, and then I'll get like a shortness of breath. So I guess I'm also kind of hoping that I can reshift my focus and kind of help cope with that or just alleviate it altogether.
One of those situations, because I was wondering, because I know you very well, and I've never seen you get angry, or one of those situations.
It's actually ironic because like I've never suffered from anxiety ever in my life, and this past year I actually had a panic attack while I was driving, and to have your whole body go into a state of absolute panic, I think the anxiety stems from the fear of having that happen again. So I just, like, I know it's a mind thing and I know my mind controls it, but it's usually in situations where I feel like I'm not at ease, or like I said, I'm just very uncomfortable, or it's out of my comfort zone, and it's a foreign thing for me because, like you said, like you've known me for quite some time, and I've never had that. So I'm hoping that I can forget the panic attack and not hold on to that for fear that it's going to happen again. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and hopefully, part of this program will. Am I echoey for everyone? No? I'm echoing in my own screen. But anyways, part of this program is next call maybe we'll go back and revisit that kind of first panic attack and hopefully what the whys behind it. And then the piece will be that we're going to feel it, and hopefully then moving forward that will be a piece that you worry about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Tuna.
I'll go next. Hi, good?
Good go.
All right, I'm Marley. I'm just finishing school, and I felt kind of difficult to get through the next few months. And things like that. I've kind of gone from Earls to school, back to Earls, to my school, and I've been here for about 5 years. And over my journey here, it's been interesting. Sorry, can you guys all hear me? It's like a little feedback.
It's really echoey or something.
Nat, do you want to try muting your mic? Yeah, okay. I think that's it. All right. So
that's what you were saying
yeah,
earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll restart. So basically, I've been at Earls for 5 years. I left a few times. Similar to Natalie, I have had anxiety issues. They all kind of started about 3 years ago. My dad passed away really suddenly, and I was super close with him. And ever since then, I've had issues with anxiety. I guess I have my whole life, but I've never really focused on body sensations or triggers or anything. And I just started focusing more on that after I kind of was like on my own, so to speak. So yeah, I completely understand panic attacks and everything. I've had quite a few. I did actually have to leave a few summers ago because I came onto the floor on a busy Friday night and just like couldn't deal with it. I had to leave. So I took a couple months off to deal with that, and now I'm in a better place. It's good. Yeah, so again, my intent for this is just really to help me kind of see where I want to go in the future. I'm not really sure. I've always had a plan, and now I don't really have a plan, and I want to figure that out, and I want to see where that takes me and where I'm going in the future. The body sensations for me is mainly I get super fidgety. Other than that, I'm pretty good at recognizing when I get anxious or when I get angry. I've always kind of I don't know how to say this. I've kind of always self-regulated, I guess, and I know exactly what my triggers are. I know how to kind of eliminate that and calm down. The way I grew up, my parents were super strict, so I always had to be very open with them, but at the same time, always have a plan in my head of what I'm going to say or how I'm going to state things so that I get the best response out of people. So I've always been very aware of like how to keep my emotions in check. I kind of also want to get out of that because I feel like it stops me from being authentic with people sometimes because I get too in my own head. So for me, it's kind of a twofold thing. Yeah.
With those like with that last thing you said, is there a piece of not being vulnerable as well?
I think so, yeah. I think it takes a while for me to be vulnerable with people when like I actually am. I just don't always come across that way, I think.
Right. Yeah, no, that's something that I've been kind of trying to figure out as well. So hopefully we can work through that together, and maybe you can help me and I can help you, and you can be my coach.
Huh.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
I can go next.
Hi, Brock.
Hi, everyone can hear me?
You're good to go.
Awesome. So my name is Brooke. I just moved to Calgary end of October, beginning of November from just outside Toronto where I grew up. Honestly, never in my life did I plan on coming out west, so this has kind of been a huge wrench in my plans. I went to school, did my undergrad, went back, got some more, did my postgrad. I had it all figured out until basically the day I graduated university. And then I started calling it my quarter-life crisis because I just don't have a clue what's next. And I'm the kind of person I like to have a plan for the plan and a backup plan for both of those. And I think this is the first time that I've ever kind of just gone with it, which I thought I'd be cool with. And then I got out here and I was like, this is new. This is crazy. But yeah, so I have been with Earls or the company for about 4 years. I started when I was still in school. I just do it. I'd be serving part-time, full-time during the summers. I took about a year break, and when I left the Earls back in Toronto, I was like, this is it. Never going back. Like, I'm done. I'm going to go get myself a big girl job, like whatever that means. And then I moved out here and wound back up at Earls, which is probably a great thing. During that time, I got really close with my managers, or I am very close with my managers right now, and I took on shift leading, and I just recently became the night manager. So it's a lot of... Pardon?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all exciting. It's a lot of new, but I think as fun as it's all been, it's a lot of new. So I'm still trying to adjust and kind of take on these. And this is why I was actually talking to my manager, Jay, and he was like, you need to do visions and goals, because I was just like all over the map, not really sure like what exactly it is I want to do. So yeah, trying to think what else was I going to talk about. I guess just below the line, I'm the kind of person when I get upset, I get sad. I take it really personally. If someone's, even if it's not a personal situation, I just take everything way too personally. So I'll get really quiet, shut down, and anxious as well. That's a big one that I've noticed recently has been kicking in. Yeah, it's the sweaty palms, the quietness, just like not wanting to be there, not wanting to contribute, which seems to be like my work solution, whereas at home I find it's almost like I love to help people. I love being that person that will give advice and all this stuff. But the moment, like my boyfriend, for example, tries to give me advice, I think it's like that fear of vulnerability kicks in, and I'm like, no, you don't get it. You don't know what this is like. Like, just shut up. You're stupid. So that's something I'm definitely hoping to kind of work through, and at the end of this course, kind of find a better way to deal with that. Because it kicks in before I even realize what I'm saying or how I'm reacting, and then afterwards, once it's been said, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so next call we'll dig into this. It sounds like you get a little, is it a little bit of defensiveness as well, maybe?
for sure. Absolutely.
So maybe there's something kind of that's come before us that has created this in you. So we'll dig into that, and it sounds like you as well are in this for all the right reasons. And just for this whole call, I think just basic introductions, this has been one of the best calls yet with people are opening up. They're really wanting to share, and it seems like everyone's going to be in this for the right reason. It's going to be exciting. So thank you for sharing, Brooke.
No problem.
It's awesome.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah?
You can
Sorry,
see, yes.
my camera wasn't working the whole time. I was here, I could do the audio and stuff. So I guess my experience with Earls, I'm still relatively new. I've been working here for almost 11 months now. I was our day manager for a couple months and worked with Derek and Nat and Drew, and Derek and I just did a switch, and I've been doing nights. This is my second week doing night managing, and it's awesome. When I came to Earls, I didn't really have any long-term goals within the company, and it's completely switched. And I've been drinking the Kool-Aid, and I love it. Like this is honestly one of, if not the best job I've ever had, with the partners and the guests, and just like the overall experience. When I go home, you don't take work with you. I'm just always feel like I'm in a good place there. And I think why I wanted to get into vision and goals, and after watching the video, and she touches on knowing what you want, and I've always kind of been the opposite, knowing what I don't want. So I think that's what I'd really like to take out of this is get this vision for the next 10 years of knowing this is what I truly want and going out and getting it. Because whatever job I've ever had, or just kind of anything in life, I try to do it the best I can. I give it everything I have. And I think knowing what I really want deep down inside, it will really help me kind of achieve these just like life-fulfilling goals that I have, and I just want to find them. As far as when I get in the grip, I notice my shoulders tense up a bit, and in certain situations, like if you're dealing with, say, a really drunk, unruly guest, I notice I get a little anxiety in the chest, just that unknowing of how the situation is going to plan out, and you can feel it building up inside you before you even have approached this person or even said anything.
Good, man. Thanks for opening up. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for letting us know who you are and what we are going to be able to help you with. So it's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think we can hear you, Drew. At least I can't. Can anyone else hear Drew?
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you got it?
Awesome.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I guess I'll go last. My name is Drew. I've been with Earls off and on for about 6 years now. Yeah, I'm currently the sous chef. It's good. Something that's really brought me back to Earls is really this kind of stuff. Like, they really focus on the people, and I think that's like I really love cooking. That's something I take home with me. That's something I do just for fun. That's something I live and breathe. Um, and Earls really brings out the stuff that I need to work on. It helps me with my personal life, helps me figure out who I am, and things like this. That's why I want to sign up for this stuff. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like biggest thing I notice when I'm in the grip is I feel like I flex my whole body. Like I flex my chest. My shoulders tighten, my lips tighten, everything kind of just, and then I think it's just trying to hold words back, basically. Yeah, and my words get short, just like my movements too. That's something I really want. I've actually been consciously working on the last little while. Is just to be above the line a little bit more, especially when shit hits the fan at work. It's kind of a big deal. I guess to tell you a little about me. One of the big reasons I wanted to do this is because I don't really know what I want in the future. Like she said, like I think Susan said, you always know what you don't want, but I don't know what I actually want, or I want too many things. I don't really know what I don't want because I'm pretty easygoing. Like I can always make something work. And I can turn something bad into something good, whether it's my own head or whether it's actual reality. But I really want to focus on all these big ideas I have, taking my passions and creating a future out of it, and kind of narrow it down into something that's realistic and something that I can actually see myself accomplishing the steps towards. Yeah. I don't know what else I'm supposed to talk about.
In 8 weeks, you've seen some good results of this program. What do you think will be in you?
Sorry, it's all jumbly for me. I can't hear you.
8 weeks time with the program. When you finish the program, it's been a success for you. I mean, you've gotten lots out of it. What? How are you going to be different? Do you think? Where do you think you're going to show up differently?
I think I'm going to have more of a focus in my life. I think I'm going to be just, yeah, I'll have something that I'm ticking off towards an actual goal that I want, rather than just like trying to do a whole bunch at once, trying to do a lot, and it's going to actually make me a happier person because of it. Yeah, I'm going to have a path that's going to make me happy, rather than just a path that I'm just working towards to work on.
A happier Drew.
Yeah, exactly.
In work and at home. Awesome. That's good. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So before I kind of review the homework, and like I said, today's only about an hour, and the whole point of today is just to kind of take any anxiety, take any nerves about kind of the unknown of this program and what it's going to be like, and it's just hopefully this sharing with each other, kind of insight to one another, kind of just sharing that intent has hopefully kind of removed any of those anxiety or nerves or anything like that, because the next 3 calls, we will get a lot deeper, and we will dive deeper into who we are as individuals, kind of our past and all of the above. So today was just kind of setting the context. Hopefully moving forward now you kind of know what to expect in these calls and what they're going to be like. So then hopefully call 2, 3, and 4, you can be fully present on the court, willing to be vulnerable. So that's kind of, today was just kind of hopefully taking any of those nerves or anxieties away. So let's talk homework for next call. And our next call is 2 weeks today, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 11 a.m. for you Edmonton girls. All this homework's online, but I just kind of want to touch into it and kind of review it. So first piece is I'm going to kind of assign you buddies. So we're going to do a check-in in hopefully a week. Just a accountability piece to help each other through it, just talk what kind of the journey and what that's looking like. So I was thinking Ali and Derek, both of you did the same moves and kind of where you're at, so it might be fun to just catch up. Drew and Jeremy, you're both working nights together, so in one of your sit-downs where you're having dinner, you might be able to go kind of deep into these conversations and might be able to get some great dialogue out of it, so I thought you two pairing up would be great. And then Brooke, Lauralee, and Nat, if you guys want to kind of pair up as a trio or a tripod and support each other, that'd be great. My recommendations, which I highly recommend, please do it over either a three-way, like for the three of you, either a phone call or Google Hangouts. You kind of lose sincerity over email. You kind of lose the natural like inflections of voice and kind of the emotion behind a great conversation through email. So it'll be much more beneficial if you're doing it over the phone or Google Hangouts. So that's kind of my recommendation for that. So then we want you to download The Power of Knowing What You Want and complete this exercise. For some of you, it may be the power of, I would recommend doing it in a different few facets of your life. Kind of maybe you could do it career, you could do it your relationship with your significant other, you could do it just as your life as a whole. Like I said, I did it for my last interview. So do it in a couple different ways and try to use it and see how it shows up and see how it can affect your life. So that's one piece of the homework. The next is notice at least 3 areas of your life where you live in reaction versus respondability or choice. So there's probably going to be different situations, different partners when you engage with them that you automatically go below the line. Knowing that you have a sit down with this person is probably going to already put you below the line. So that could be one area. Whether it be, it's going to be up to you to decide. I don't know how each of you go below the line, but there'll be different areas of your life. So try to notice that in a minimum of 3. And then complete the body trigger worksheet. Because like I said, this whole body sensation and body trigger thing is going to be extremely important, and it's going to be the big piece of how you recover faster and how you kind of get out of your own head if you're anxious or what it may be. So let's be extremely aware of that. And then take a look at there's examples for the ability to shift. Like for me, it's my ways I can shift quickly from below the line to above the line. I have a picture of my nieces on my phone who I absolutely adore. Avery's 4, Addie's 2, and they're eating ice cream when we went to the ice cream park one day, and they have like ice cream on their face. And like instantly that just brings like kind of joy and warmth to my heart, and if I'm in a shitty spot, it helps me recover. If I have the ability, for some reason, 50 Cent, Hate It or Love It, it's a song that always puts me in a good place. It reminds me of when I was 17, had brand new car that my parents bought me with a big sub, and I thought I was the coolest kid just driving around Abbotsford. So whenever I hear that song, it just reminds me to like windows down, like driving around Abbotsford thinking I'm the hottest shit. So that like helps me recover. So there's going to be different things for each of you. Derek, it might be a picture of your boy or whatever it may be. I don't know, but there's going to be ways that are going to help us recover a lot faster than just trying to like breathe or just wait it out. So try to figure those out. And like I said, kind of at the start of the call, let's. So this is all on my Earls. If you go to courses and vision and goals, you'll find all this work for the 4 calls. But I recommend reviewing it either right after this call or tonight at some point, and then being really aware and paying attention to all this stuff over the next 2 weeks. Don't leave it till last minute. You won't get anything out of it. So if you can be working on this every single day for the next 2 weeks, you're going to get much, much more out of this program. So I think that's kind of it for call 1. If anyone has any questions, you can come online or you can send me an email. I know I work with most of you, but for Brooke and Allie, if you ever need to reach out, you can. Starting next Monday, I'll be at Bridge Park, so you can call the restaurant to try to get a hold of me. Feel free to reach out through email. Like I said, we're all here to support each other, so if you need anything, let me know. That goes for all of you.
Hey, Cody.
Yep.
Can you maybe send us an email with everyone's emails in it or something so that we can... Or you did already? I didn't get that. Okay.
Yeah, I can resend it totally. I'll do that right after I get off the call. That's a good idea.
Okay.
And then if you're pairs, you can email each other, exchange phone numbers or whatever it may be. But I hope, like I said, this kind of eased your curiosity of what this Vision and Goals program is going to be like and kind of the, I guess, the formats of it. And it's going to be fun. Like I said, especially next call. Next call will probably go quite deep for some of us. So be ready, be emotionally ready, be above the line coming into it, kind of set your context, and it's going to be a great 6-8 weeks. So thank you so much. I'll send that email with everyone's email. And like I said, it's Thursday night, so have a great Thursday and have a great weekend. And I'll see most of you at work. But for you other 2 Edmonton girls, have an awesome couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Talking to you guys.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.